Hey guys, welcome back to my garden. Today I want to take these two tomatoes off this mini bell tomato plant and we're going to try to cut them open, gather the seeds that are inside, and I want to try to plant them out. Hopefully we can get them germinated. Let's get started. So it's just as easy as breaking it open, guys. Ideally, you'd want to use two hands when you're doing this so it's a little bit more clean and controlled. But one hand is holding the camera while the other hand is doing all the work, as you see. So once I gather all the seeds inside, hopefully we're going to be able to pull out all the pulp and everything that's in there. And let's try to see how many tomato seeds we got. So it looks like we got about maybe 4 or 5 seeds, I count. Not as many as I thought it would be, honestly, but those tomatoes are super small, they're really tiny, and I'm pretty certain I should be able to at least get one of those seeds to germinate. And as you see, the mini bell is just producing and producing, guys. Excuse me. I am highly debating pulling this thing out of the ebb and flow kit actually and throwing it into a deep water culture system. It's just gonna perform so much better in a deep water culture, I think, as opposed to this system, which is giving me a lot of problems here and there. We'll talk about that in a different video. But as you see, guys, 4 days later, it looks like I waited a little bit too long because a little bacteria started forming at the very top. A little mold was forming, and all I did was basically just pour out that really slowly over this tissue over here, so the tissue is actually able to capture the seeds and nothing falls into the sink. And now I'm just going to try to gather the seeds, whatever I have in here, minus whatever tomato pulp I have laying around. So it looks like I got maybe about 3 or 4 seeds there, guys. And looking closely at them, you could actually see that the seeds are starting to actually sprout and germinate. I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a second. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So looking closely, you could see that there's a little sprout right there at the bottom that's beginning to poke out of the seed. And looking closely at all of them, you could see that pretty much all of them are beginning to open up and germinate. So you can see the little taproot is right there at the bottom of the seed. So all I'm gonna do now is just throw it in a little rockwool cube and we'll get it germinated, guys. So you want to make sure to always pre-rinse your rockwool cubes, get them nice and soaked, and you want to wash them for at least at least 30 seconds, I would say, just to get it nice and absorbed. Or make sure any dust or debris that's inside of it will get washed out, and a lot of the moisture should be absorbed in that time. So I'm going to try to gather the seeds that's here using this little toothpick, since they are super small, and I want to try not to disturb the taproot as much as possible. And it looks like it's just not working, guys. So let's just grab the seeds how we can, and hopefully I'll be nice and gentle. I'm not gonna try to squeeze it too much. So since it looks like I got about 4 seeds right here, I'm gonna just plant 2 and 2. This way, hopefully, if I at least just get one of the seeds to germinate in each cell, I'll be happy with that. But if I get 2, that's even better, guys. The current mini bell tomato plant that is growing, 2 seeds were sprouted at that time, and I kept both of the seeds growing, so that's just, you could use that as a reference for how big the tomato plant gets. And my current mini bell is, I would say, approximately maybe 14 to 16 inches tall at this point now. Since I did increase the lights, it did start growing a little bit taller now, and it's starting to bush out and get a little bit bigger now. So now that that's pushed in there, normally you would want to make sure to cover up the holes and get the seeds nice and covered. I like to use coco coir over here. This way it acts kind of like a nice little barrier, and it keeps the seeds nice and dark for them to be able to keep growing and keep sprouting up, as well as it doesn't damage the rockwool cube by trying to pinch it closed and cover that hole up using the rockwool. So this is just a really simple method, guys, to use that. You could use any grow media that you have. You could use soil, perlite, vermiculite, anything honestly is good. It's just something to keep the seeds nice and covered and moisturized. So all I'm gonna do now is just label the date. This way I don't forget when I planted this out. And that's it, guys. And I'm gonna throw it under my grow lights, and I'm gonna wait a couple days and see how long it takes to sprout. Welcome back again to my garden, guys. Today is the 20th of July, and it's been exactly 5 days since I planted the seeds in these rockwool cubes, and you could see both cells have sprouted. It looks like I count one seedling, one tomato plant in each has started to germinate, and you can see it's beginning to already pop out and grow out. So at this point, this is when you want to make sure to throw it underneath the grow lights and keep those grow lights nice and close, guys. Keep these little seedlings nice and warm. This is where I had it when I was just waiting for it to germinate. This way it's just underneath the grow lights. As you see, it's a little bit far away. You don't need it to be directly under the grow lights when you want it to sprout. The grow lights just act kind of as the sun to get everything going, guys. Now that things are going, make sure to keep those grow lights about 1 to 2 inches above the plants. And that's it, guys. I'm gonna keep the growth going. We'll be back soon for more. If you liked the episode, guys, please show me some love. Hit that thumbs up. Post any messages or comments down below. Thank you for watching.